The Six-Day War, fought in June 1967, was one of the shortest yet most transformative conflicts in modern history. In just 6 days, Israel faced off against Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, reshaping the map of the Middle East. Today, we're diving into some fascinating facts about this pivotal war that you might not know. The Six-Day War didn't just happen overnight. Tensions had been simmering for years. The root of the conflict lies in the unresolved issues from the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, which led to Israel's independence. Border disputes, especially around the Sinai Peninsula and the Golan Heights, kept the region on edge. By 1967, tensions reached a boiling point. Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser closed the Straits of Tiran to Israeli ships, a move that Israel considered an act of war. This blockade, along with the withdrawal of UN peacekeepers from the Sinai Peninsula, set the stage for the conflict. On June 5, 1967, Israel launched Operation Focus, a preemptive airstrike designed to cripple the Egyptian Air Force. Within the first few hours of the war, Israel had destroyed more than 300 Egyptian aircraft, most of them while they were still on the ground. This operation not only gave Israel air superiority, but also set the tone for the rest of the conflict. The success of this operation demonstrated the effectiveness of preemptive strikes and the critical role of air power in modern warfare. With control of the skies, Israel quickly turned its attention to the Sinai Peninsula. Israeli forces launched a rapid and highly coordinated ground offensive, pushing Egyptian forces back toward the Suez Canal. One of the key battles was at Abu Agela, where Israeli forces used a combination of air assaults, artillery, and infantry to outmaneuver the Egyptian defenses. Within just 4 days, Israeli troops had captured the entire Sinai Peninsula, inflicting heavy losses on the Egyptian military and securing Israel's southern flank. While the Sinai campaign was underway, Israel also launched operations on the Eastern Front against Jordanian forces in the West Bank. The battle for Jerusalem was particularly significant. On June 7th, Israeli paratroopers entered the old city of Jerusalem and reached the Western Wall, a site of deep religious significance to Jews around the world. This marked the first time in nearly 2,000 years that Jews had control over the entire city of Jerusalem. By the end of the war, Israel had captured the entire West Bank, dramatically changing the region's demographics and setting the stage for future conflicts. On the final days of the war, Israel turned its attention to the Golan Heights, a strategically important area controlled by Syria. The Golan Heights overlooked northern Israel, and for years, Syrian forces had used the high ground to launch artillery attacks on Israeli villages. The terrain was difficult and heavily fortified, but Israeli forces, supported by air cover, launched a determined assault on June 9th. After 2 days of intense fighting, Israel captured the Golan Heights, securing its northern border and gaining a critical buffer zone against future attacks. The Six-Day War ended on June 10, 1967, with a ceasefire brokered by the United Nations. Israel's swift and decisive victory left it in control of the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Gaza Strip, and the Golan Heights. This territorial expansion drastically altered the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East and set the stage for decades of conflict. The war also had significant psychological effects. For Israel, it was a moment of national pride and a demonstration of military prowess. However, the occupation of these territories also led to ongoing disputes, particularly with the Palestinian population, that continue to this day. The Six-Day War may have lasted only 6 days, but its impact is still felt more than 50 years later. It's a conflict that reshaped the Middle East, creating new realities that continue to influence global politics. Understanding the facts of this war helps us grasp the complexities of the region today. If you found this deep dive into the Six-Day War insightful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more historical explorations. Thanks for watching History Facts Al. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.